If you go to a tall building located on a cliffside hill in the southwestern parts of Windfall Island at the beginning of the game, you will find a bomb shop there. Unlike other bomb shops, however, this one sells its items at an enormous cost for Link. The owner, Bomb Master Cannon, treats Link in a rude manner and with contempt. However, if you return later in the story, the prices have lowered significantly, and he is really friendly towards Link. Why is that? What happened here? In this video, I don't merely want to retell small events from Wind Waker. Rather, I want to offer an explanation, or even more than one. This is today's video's topic. This is the story of how Beedle, the sea-traveling merchant, ruined Bomb Master Cannon's whole business. At first, only one person, Bomb Master Cannon, sells bombs in the entire Great Sea, and at a very high price, ranging from 10,000 to 30,000 rupees. As we progress in the story of the game, however, Tetra and her group attack and rob him of his bombs. After having obtained the bombs, the pirates sell them to the traveling merchant Beedle. Having witnessed being tied up and his bombs being stolen, Bomb Master Cannon's behavior completely changes. He drastically lowers the prices on his products, up to 99.8%, now being only between 20 and 50 rupees. Let's try to explain what motivation could have driven him to do so. I think there are two valid explanations for this observation. One explanation could be emotional and psychological. Bomb Master Cannon was so scared by this event that he reconsidered his life decisions and his behavior towards other people. Him being way friendlier to Link after this experience could be an expression of, and a way to deal with, this fear. However, another explanation is also very plausible. According to economic theory, the more a good is available and obtainable for a lot of people on a market, because more merchants offer it, for example, the lower the ideal price has to be in order for vendors to stay competitive on that market, and vice versa. The rarer the good, the higher the price. Bomb Master Cannon at first has a monopoly on bombs. He's the only one who's selling them. Therefore, the supply of bombs is very limited. Thus, if we follow the logic of economics, the price of bombs is very high. With Tetra and her crew stealing bombs from Bomb Master Cannon, however, the pirates were widening the possibilities for outsiders to obtain bombs, thus increasing supply in the Great Sea, and therefore breaking Cannon's monopoly on bombs. As his grip on bomb selling is weakened, Bomb Master Cannon now has to deal with competition on the bomb market, be it Tetra's pirates or Beedle selling bombs to customers like Link. So, Cannon has to lower his prices dramatically in order to stay competitive. Also, notice how he begins to advertise his products now. This could be because he has to grant a more attractive buying experience and friendlier service to his customers, if he wants to retain any, in order to stay relevant and being able to compete with Beedle's membership program. But perhaps there is a chance that Bomb Master Cannon can keep a monopoly on Windfall Island at least, with him being the sole vendor of bombs on this island? Yeah, no. So we now have two competitors in this market, maybe even three if Tetra and her crew decide to sell bombs to customers as well. This makes it simply impossible for Cannon to retain his monopolistic policy, especially since Beedle visits Outset Island with his ship as well, thus robbing Cannon of the sole advantage he could have had over Beedle. Meaning bombs on Windfall Island only can be bought at Cannon's bomb shop and nowhere else. This example indicates that Windfall society operates under economic laws. In addition, Beedle has a keen intuitive or maybe even theoretical knowledge of market mechanisms. Just look at his understanding on the concept of inflation, for example. I imagine he excitedly bought some bombs from Tetra's pirates in order to gain a foothold in the bomb market. Beedle seems like a classic businessman, seizing an opportunity whenever he can to expand his business. He wouldn't give a crap about some snob vendor on Windfall Island trying to hold a grip on their bomb monopoly. You could make the argument that after Beedle has sold out all of his bombs and he cannot produce new ones by himself, the monopolistic situation might have been re-established. But Tetra then could simply attack and rob Cannon again, so this situation wouldn't last. Also, this scenario would only be valid if Beedle doesn't find a way to get bombs by himself without having to rely on Cannon, either by reverse engineering bombs or by trying to strike a deal with one of Cannon's possible component suppliers. Either way, I think that Cannon has to face a potent competitor in the Great Sea for months or maybe even years to come. People could say that at some point Beedle traveled to the world of the Ocean King. However, after Link's adventures in Phantom Hourglass, he could easily return to the Great Sea and continue trading there. Another counter-argument could be that the fact that we don't see Beedle at Windfall Island during the day means that lore-wise he only shows up at the island during night. My response would be that 1. He could very well show up at Windfall Island during the day when Link is somewhere else, in a dungeon for example, and we simply don't see him. And 2. That gameplay mechanics don't reflect a 100% realistic issue here either, with, for example, Beedle already being present at a certain location when Link decides to fast travel there with the Ballad of Gales. Not a lot of bombs will fit into a barrel, between 1 and 6 depending on mathematical assumptions. If we assume that the barrels contained manufactured round bombs or round components and that Tetra and her crew would only have taken 12 barrels, it follows that Tetra's pirates would have gotten 72 bombs at most. Considering that they needed bombs for themselves and also sold some to Beedle, this would mean that in the most generous estimate, both parties would only have, give or take, 36 bombs at their disposal, for example. If we think about how many bombs Link can buy afterwards from Beedle, this seems somewhat unlikely to me, and I'd attribute it to in-game inconsistencies. I'd say that Beedle got more bombs from Tetra than presented in this calculation. It could also be that after the robbery, Bombmaster Cannon actually started cooperating with Beedle and seeing him on more equal terms, thus delivering more bombs to him. But I think my point still stands that this would hurt Cannon's profit margin significantly. Therefore, Beedle still ruined Cannon's monopolistic business. Well, that's my explanation on how the bombs in Cannon's shop on Windfall Island got so cheap. This video is lower grade economics and we unfortunately don't have solid evidence, but I still think this is an interesting topic and theory. I hope you had fun watching it. See you next time.